Many times it's very easy to try to fix a whole lot of things at once. We feel this initial motivation of, let's pick all of these things up, let's really change this time, let's really make this big transformation. And then when you try to make all of those changes at once, what I see happen very frequently is it just does not become sustainable. For a long time, I would try to do this as well, where you're looking for this kind of magical moment where just everything changes. You probably got this, I guess I got this from like shows or anime, kind of, made up stories. There is this moment where the main character makes that big jump, and out of nowhere they just change for good. And from there it's just up and up and up. And this does happen, particularly if you get a lot of momentum right off the bat. If you get enough upward trajectory or get enough boost upwards that gets you to kind of escape velocity, to where you have attained so much and you've changed your life so drastically that you would never go back. What I think is more common is we accept that there is no magic point where we truly change our habits and our actions, our behavior. It's just 1%, 1%, 1% compounding over time. And I think if you keep looking for this perfect way of running things, which is, why people say, oh, I'll start Monday, because they want the perfect kind of week to start off. As long as you have this mindset, you're never going to change this thing. What I've seen to be a lot more beneficial, a couple things, but at the end of the day, the habits that we don't want to have, they stem from a sense of some type of low vibration, or you just not having anything to do. If you are that incredibly busy, it becomes very hard to self-sabotage. So first of all, I'd say, how busy are you? How packed is your day? And can you squeeze more out of that? Can you, put in more effort to make things more difficult? And then secondly, if any type of negative thoughts arise, it can be extremely powerful to create something like a failsafe, which I spoke about in the previous video, where if you can make one habit, make one change, I would recommend it to be one where whenever you feel like fucking up, there is this one thing that you go to, or perhaps it's a few different things you can cycle through. And then you also mix these in throughout the day to keep your energy high. This is what's really helped me a lot. I, wake up and I go right into some red light therapy, breath work, then I do my book posts. So I read one chapter of a book, then I do my architecture workbook, which you can find in the school community. Then I go straight into work. I work for quite some time, then I give myself a real reward with, perhaps a coffee or just a small meal. It kind of depends on the day. Then I go right back into work, make sure that the meal is keto. But then I continue working. Then I get in some movement, oftentimes also get in some movement in the morning or in that break, and just making sure I do just, a couple burpees that keep the energy high. I found those to be extremely, extremely beneficial. And so if you just plan these things, like reading, like anything difficult, cold showers, getting in movement, meditation. These different habits can be some type of feel-safe. I hope these videos can act as a feel-safe as well, where if you start to feel like things are not going your way, just watch one of my videos, and I hope these can help you to keep that momentum going. I really challenge you at the end of the day to just pick up one thing at a time, because you see that people are constantly taking 3 steps forward, then they take 2 steps back, or they might even take more steps back than they took forward, and they keep going up and down on this pendulum. Rhythm is normal. We have ups and downs. You can't always be at 100%. It's just nonsense. But you can creep up your baseline. And so what I would urge you to do, and what has helped me the most, is to just look at tackling one thing at a time. Because if you have masterful habits, you can crush anyone in any realm, no matter what area you are competing in, no matter what type of business it might be. You will win. Because most people are constantly fighting themselves, constantly holding themselves back. And so taking that step back and just listening to what your conscience is telling you, that'll be a very powerful first step, because you very, very likely know what the first thing is that you have to do to start to improve your life. You might not know the next steps that follow that, but you definitely know the first step. So take that first step, and then as you master that first step, you start to grow past it, then the next thing will show up. And that way you can just go from one thing to the next, and you'll gain so much clarity around what the next step is, how you can keep pushing, how you can keep growing. And that is going to do wonders for your own growth. So hope this is helpful. If you need help with destroying any type of self-sabotage, bad habits, check the school community. It's $7 a month. It'll has an entire module on breaking character, or not breaking character any longer, dealing with self-sabotage, how to deal with bad habits, all of these types of things to create an aligned life. And I think those would serve you. So hope this is helpful. Wish you a good day.